Yo, what's up guys? How is everyone doing? Hope you're all having a fantastic day. Guys, I've been inconsistent with this streaming schedule. A lot of it was just that I've been feeling burnt out with this market right now. Guys, let me know audio and everything good. Don't talk about XRP, I like that, Alex Tech. Yo, what's up guys? How is everyone? Go ahead and mute that. So audio is good clearly, but it's been a very boring market, all right, in recent days. We haven't seen anything interesting, and we're not in a zone where I feel comfortable trading. So I have violated that a little bit. I put out a signal in VIP, which is an extremely high. It's probably the highest risk signal I've ever put out. So I don't even know why I've entered it myself. I guess it's just because I've become so impatient with this market. As it stands right now, and I just want to do something. So, it's the way, what we're looking at right now is we've seen some of this inverse head and shoulder play out. We've seen some of these important elements, but on the whole, it's been mostly just sideways movement. Not really making any interesting moves in this market. Yesterday, not even 24 hours ago, we had a pretty big pump going up to above the 6,800 line, and that marks the 6th time in 30 days that we've actually had a fully fledged rejection of the 6,800 line. Just turn on my CCTV cameras because there's some weird stuff going on outside at the moment. See what else is going on in this chat here. You're shorting, Omar, so am I. In this hard times, building a rig seems more profitable. Newbie, do you know what? Trading isn't profitable right now. So, sorry, not trading. Mining isn't profitable right now for a lot of people. It might be just on the verge of being profitable, but really not even worth the time. So I would even say just getting, the best course of action in this kind of a market is to be reading up on things like books, and making sure that you have the knowledge you need for when the time does kick in. And next time we make a big move, you have no excuse pretty much. You have this time to learn and gather knowledge, which is exactly what I've been doing over the course of this weekend. Four flies, don't hit me in the nuts. I am punctual to the crypto classroom. Fluxmaster, I think you're the guy who mentioned that you have to watch my streams daily without fail, so that's hilarious. Great to see you here. Crooked shoulder, yeah, it is. I don't like head and shoulders patterns. I've only plotted it because other people were talking about it, so I thought, okay, I will give it some merit. I will act like it exists, pretty much. But at the moment, what we've seen is a lot of rejections of the $6,800 line. We're still in this bull trap area. We're still in a rising wedge. And all of these really bullish factors, I see them and I wish they were true. But, like I said, I have entered a short, a very high risk short. I see myself closing it very quickly if I panic for 1 minute even. This is a very volatile kind of a position. I'm not happy with taking it on, but I'm going to be closing it very quickly. And of course, the VIP members get all of that information when I close my positions and things like that. As it stands right now, what I do see is at the very least going down to levels like 6,600, which would be this support line here, potentially even testing 6,400, maybe playing out this right shoulder. So if I plot this inverse head and shoulders pattern real quick, just very rough and crudely, I guess. We could see a slightly longer term trend like this. You see, the only problem with this is, personally, I feel like if we do drop below levels like 6,400 again, we're not going to be going back above 6,400 anytime soon. So it could be that we bounce off 64 like this. I don't know. Head and shoulders patterns are not consistent. They're anything but consistent. So it could end at 6,400 and then go up again, or it could go far lower and then go up again. But personally, my sentiment has been that if we do test those lows again, we are going to stay low and we're going to go much further down as well. DH from Silicon Valley, amazing. With a bull flag, the flag pot slopes down, not up. Yeah, so actually, this is something I wanted to touch on. Following that pump, we had a good sign, alright? We had a very nice, sort of healthy pattern playing out where we tested this high. Let's just ignore this massive wick, which is unnatural in regular trading. We really don't see stuff like this. So this was obviously blatant bot action, taking us above 6,800, trying to liquidate those shorts. And guys, more on that in a second. I am going to be looking at those charts in a second. But what we had originally, and I was going to call it, you know, when I woke up today and I saw the rest of this play out, I felt like this was something akin to a bull flag that was going to send us back up. But what we've seen now is a very typical high frequency, dark pool pattern. Again, Kirby knows all about this, so Crypto Kirby, go ahead and search him up if you want to know more about how these bots operate. What we've seen here is an arch down followed by an arching back up, and guys, if we look at patterns like this, you know, like this arching up and then down, all of these arching patterns precede a big action in the opposite direction. So we're arching up, and so we would BART down historically if we follow that kind of a pattern. Again, you can find it everywhere. We go down, we arch up, go down. So it looks like that's what's going to be happening again. And then we factor in how many times we've hit this resistance. You know, we factor in the EMA resistance on the daily. Let's check out where it is on the 4-hour. You know, like I mentioned, I haven't been streaming these past couple days just because this market has been so boring. And with all of the sideways movement, it hasn't even been worth looking at the charts. So today is the first time I've actually taken a good look at Bitcoin's chart since probably Friday, probably even Thursday. Because really, if you've spent these past 72 hours worrying about what's happening to Bitcoin, as you can see, nothing has happened. So, you know, you've grayed your hair a little bit, and you haven't got any gains in return for that, if that makes sense. So that's kind of why I've really distanced myself from the market this weekend, and just taken a bit of a break, because I expected this kind of a movement to happen. Just completely underwhelming. Turn my AC on there. Just completely underwhelming movements that aren't going to give us any nice gains. And so I decided, you know what, I'm going to step back this weekend, brush up on these skills which I'm lacking, you know, things like even head and shoulders pattern, you know, even basic charting patterns with candles, like I mentioned. These are the most reliable indicators we've had as of late. Brush up on those and make sure I know everything I can. So that's pretty much my stance. I mean, really, even since my last stream, nothing really has changed. I mean, okay, so with these EMAs, I brought them up. We've got some support here. We bounced off back here. We bounced up. Very nice. This 4-hour support lining up exactly with this diagonal line I put as support. So this is not surprising at all. I think it could continue this way. I don't think it's going to hold, honestly. I mean, I do think we're going to fall through it. At least to complete, you know, half of the right shoulder within that inverse head and shoulders pattern, which is obviously quite bullish. But apart from that, go over to the daily, and we are still in some pretty strong resistance, guys. I mean, there's no denying it. We're about to get some crossovers with the EMA 21 crossing above the 25. But apart from that, we're not really getting any bullish indicators. You know, this EMA resistance is still very strong. You know, I posted, I think it was even yesterday or something, we've had a bull flag like this, and, you know, it's a relatively consolidated pattern where we keep on bouncing off these support areas, and so I mentioned, you know, this could be a bull flag setting us to go up, and that is exactly what happened. So it did follow, it was followed by this blue candle going up and breaking out of this bull flag. It's a very weird bull flag because, you know, it's just complete sideways movement. But it still did count, and it has played out. But I just think that, you know, we go over to CoinMarketCap and we take a look at the volume. We've got $11.5 billion on the 24-hour, and considering this is the volume that we had a big pump, you know, going from, where was this, 66 all the way up to a high of 68. And the volume has been declining. You know, that's a very bad sign for the bulls, and so it's reinforced why I feel like it's been an okay time to start giving some to start shorting. I mean, I even well, can't go into it, it's a VIP signal, but I have taken some actions today to hedge. You know, the rest of the alt market, we're getting some green. I mean, 35% on Tezos. I have no idea what it is. Bitcoin Diamond, obviously the OG Bitcoin. You know, Digibyte doing well. One of these coins, a crypto psychic told me about, which was pretty cool. So Digibyte Red Coin he mentioned. Maybe you guys want to check it out. Personally, I have brushed it off completely, but you know, we're seeing some nice gains in the alt market, you know, just a small, you know, few modest percent gains. If anything, you know, I'm not in any alts at the moment. I close all of my alt positions very quickly. I mean, I'm just flipping them very quickly if I do enter them. And even at that, I think Neo is the only alt I've traded in maybe the past 2 weeks, and that was only one trade. So I'm very strongly against alts. You guys hear it every time in my streams. But today, you know, if anything, if I were holding these alts and sitting on, you know, a massive loss, I would just sell on this bounce. All right, I would just, and you know, maybe we break above 6,800. So I just realized that I'm sounding very bearish, and I'm not really reinforcing my sentiment that I believe we're still largely neutral, so we can still break above 6,800. And when we, you know, we consider, let's go back to these futures. I haven't seen how this graph has played out over the past couple of days. I'm sure it's mostly the same, but you know, these futures dates have resulted in reversal. So we went up again, SIBO closed, went up, CME open, we went up, CME volume extremely high at the moment. So what we could see here is a continuation of this reversal. Maybe it marked the beginning of the end of our bear market, or rather the beginning of the next bull market. Very slow disbelief rally. You guys know what I mean. You know, we go up and everyone doesn't believe it because every previous try has failed. And then we end up, you know, never reaching these levels again. We just go up and very slowly, and then eventually we go parabolic. Maybe next year, maybe this year. Personally, in terms of this disbelief thing, the more I think about it, the more I feel like we're not there yet. Because there's still a lot of hope. Again, you're hearing it in my voice. I think a true disbelief rally will be when we've already tried to rally many, many times, and all of that hope has been completely exhausted within the market. And I still think there's a fair bit of hope. And I'm saying that because I have hope myself. So if this kind of a thing is going to play out, it looks like it looks like we're fairly far from a disbelief rally. But you know, the way it stands right now, if we did see the bottom, you know, I was even thinking, you know, we don't have to play out a full bubble pop, because Bitcoin has had drops like this, 71%, 80% drops like this in the past, and they didn't have to be played out like a full bubble pop. So that means this, you know, none of it has to conform to a real pattern. We get these, you know, very generalized patterns of bubble pops. You know, as I zoom out here, we're on the 4-hour chart. We get these very generalized patterns, and these are just the typical examples of what happened, right? So it doesn't have to fit in with that. Why have I got this black square? I'm sorry. That must have been really annoying. It doesn't have to fit in with these general trends. I mean, it can end at any time, and the deal with this is that any time that these trends end, it generally just fits in with a trend we've already seen in the past, which is why we recognize it. So that's why we recognize the double top over here. I mean, it could have been the first time it happened, and it would have still been a completely natural movement. None of this makes sense. I'm completely aware. I'm gonna stop talking about that now. But, you know, those bullish factors, so futures, triple bottom, fundamentals never being stronger, that kind of a thing, it's all the same. These are the fundamental reasons for being bullish with Bitcoin at the moment. But, of course, none of this bullish news has meant Bitcoin has gone up, alright? Bitcoin only responds to the bearish news, and, I mean, apart from that, all of these swings are completely traded by bots. We don't have to look much further than the volume. We don't have to look further than the Google search trends showing us that human interest is extremely low for Bitcoin relative to where it was back in December 2017. You know, the crypto Twitter completely dead. Everyone's salty. Everyone wants to throw shit on other people. This kind of a thing, it's not going to result to a growing market. And so, it's why I decided that I am going to take some action against Bitcoin potentially falling lower. So that's my stance, guys. I'm ready to go into your questions. 400 viewers. Let's smash those likes real quick. Four Flies has a great track record. Timeless. Thank you very much, BCK. Yes, my track record has been pretty good. I don't know how. All right. Maybe I'm just getting lucky all the time. But it has been fairly nice. Can you confirm the dates of Bitcoin futures? So DH, I only know the two most recent ones. That was SIBO closing on the 29th of June and CME opening on the 2nd of July. And you know, like I mentioned, we're gonna have to wait at least a week, potentially 2 or 3 weeks after CME has opened to really see if we've had a reversal. So we're now nearly a week in. Tomorrow marks 1 week of CME being open. Bluebone, yes, I am short, but I am very you know, hazy on this. I might change, but you know, we're 1 week into this CME opening, and so far it looks like a reversal. You know, back to this Bitfinex chart. Since CME has opened, since SIBO has closed, we have only been going higher. All right, we've set higher highs and we've set higher lows. So that's a good trend. You know, I mean, that's it's something good to note in terms of an uptrend, but we're still in a rising wedge within a downtrend. You know, we have broken out of that downtrend. I showed you it maybe even last stream or a couple streams ago. We have broken out of that downtrend, but you know, rising wedges can do that and then still go back down. Describe my perfect Sunday equals bull run. My perfect Sunday, my friend, I don't know. I think it might be today, because I ate Nutella, so Nutella marks a perfect Sunday to me. No matter what the market is going, the Bitcoin future will control the price when the expiration date comes. DH, yeah, man, unfortunately, it does look like that. I mean, if we go back to this Bitfinex chart, switch over to the daily, you know, each of these blue lines mark... What have I done? Each of these blue lines here mark a significant date for the futures, and for those of you who missed it, every time we have one of these, just a few days after, even 1 day after, we get a reversal. So we had the big one back in December, SIBO opened, and we crashed. Alright, and then whatever this was, I forgot, couple days later, about a week later, we had this futures date, we went up, had another futures date, went down, another futures date reversal, and it's played out again. So predictable. I stressed it way more than I probably should have, but I'm glad it's been reinforced in you guys. And people who did take advantage of that, like we did in Gold, in VIP, join the Telegram channel if you're not already in there. We were able to take advantage from that. We were able to make good profits from it. Flies, go look at the weekly chart, put on the stochastic. I don't know how to use the stochastic RSI, my friend. And also note the bullish engulfing candle. Sorry, dude, you're wrong about this. Let me check out the weekly. Again, I don't know how to use the stochastic RSI. You've mentioned something about a bullish engulfing candle. Okay, so let me take this off. Yeah, I mean, look, this does look, you know, in terms of a reversal, definitely, it looks bullish. And we've got a very nice weekly candle here, which is about to end, you know, within, what, 6 hours UTC. Less than that, 5 hours and 40 minutes, right? So this weekly candle looks great, actually. Very, very nice, and I wouldn't be surprised if it results in a climb a little bit like this one. Hopefully it's going to be slower and more controlled, and if so, that would really indicate that we've ended this downtrend. But as it stands, you know, the fact that we've been rejected by the strong resistance 6 times, what it's going to take, guys, this time to cross 6,800 resistance is I think it's only going to take a bot, you know, I think it's only going to take a bot pump to take us above that level. But I mentioned shorts and longs, and I want to take a look at them now. I think they apply less so now. Alright, you know, like I said, we have to look at what indicators are reliable historically, what have failed us, what hasn't failed us. Lately, these longs and shorts have not been a reliable indicator for Bitcoin. About a week ago, they were great, but not anymore. And so, you know, even let's give it a little bit of credit. You know, let's see what this is telling us. And at the moment, I think this cup and handle is out of the picture now, because this handle has gone on for way too long. So we're not, you know, if it's gonna follow a cup and handle, the cup and handle is not gonna be a reason for us to shoot up in terms of shorts. I don't think that's gonna happen. What we have got now is vital support areas being breached. We've hit some lows that we haven't seen for a very long time. And I think, you know, given the current trend, if we go bullish, I mean, shorts have a long way down to go. But given how low they are, I still think there's a good chance that we end up going higher. So I do think there's a good chance that longs get squeezed, and we go over to the long now, and it's very high. You know, it's pushing the all-time high. The all-time high was about 40,000 contracts, and right now we're at 35,000, nearly 36. So longs are really testing their boundaries right now. We've broken these resistance areas. Really, you know, like I mentioned a couple streams back or whatever, there is no resistance stopping the longs right now, apart from the all-time high. But apart from that, it could snap and go down at any point. There is nothing you know, telling us it's going to go higher, but also nothing telling us it's going to go low. The only thing we can use in this case is the RSI, and using the RSI, we can see that it is quite high. It's pushing overbought now. Actually, it's on 66, so a 70 reading on the RSI would mean that we are overbought with the longs, and so it would indicate potentially a correction of the longs. I definitely think it's possible. I mean, look at how it's just been on a straight ascension up. This kind of thing has never really happened since, I think it was back here, actually. So this was in February. Was it February? Yeah, it was, yeah. So, I mean, that was the last time we had this kind of an ascension. You know, potentially compare it to what happened back here in May and April. But apart from that, I mean, it looks so clear that we are ready for some sort of a long squeeze, and so that is why I decided to take that risk and put a short in. You know, at the moment the chances are quite slim, so again, you know, I just want to reinstate, I'm still pretty much neutral. You know, I'm leaning more bearish now, but at the moment it's still anyone's call. It's still a no trade zone. It's still a very dangerous area to be making trades, in my opinion. Clearly, the market is showing mixed signals still. Any definitive stance is gambling. Mark, I completely agree with you. I'm so glad someone else has said it for me this time. Yeah, I mean, look, so many mixed signals, so many. I've gone through the bearish stances, I've gone through the bullish stances, and both of them are incredibly convincing. You know, Ryan Ford agreeing with Mark as well. Absolutely, and you know, like I said, that's why I'm not 100% comfortable with my short right now. It just seems like it's got a slightly higher likelihood to me at the moment, but apart from that, no, it is, you know, essentially, and I've stressed it so many times that trading in this zone is bordering on gambling. I just don't think it's a good idea. So, you know, you're better off waiting, in my opinion, not financial advice, obviously, but waiting for a breakout above 6,800 or a break below about 6,100, 6,000, 5,800. You know, 5,800 would be a great confirmation if we break below that. And you know, you'll wait a little longer, you'll miss out on some profits, but you're still going to make huge profits on the way down or up anyway. So I don't think there's anything to be concerned about with regards to missing out on profits just because you didn't secure the perfect entry. Because you have to consider the risk to reward, and at the moment the risk is extremely high, and the reward, you know, the extra bit of reward you get if you weren't to miss out on those profits are not good enough to justify, to justify significant moves at the moment, I think. That's just me. Analyze ETH. I mean, look, Emmanuel, I'm seeing some bullish, you know, charts on ETH and things like that, but Ethereum is just going to follow what Bitcoin does, so it's at a very long-term support now. If I draw this line, I don't know why it's not drawn. I did have it drawn before, but yeah, this is a very nice bounce for ETH. Look, I'm still not giving it credit. You know, Ethereum. Let me make this point very clear right now. Actually, you know, Ethereum is going to follow Bitcoin 100%. I mean, Ethereum will move harder than Bitcoin. It's going to dump harder. It's going to pump harder. But apart from that, I mean, you know, these patterns are exactly the same. I mean, the bubble pop was delayed by like, what, a month on Ethereum, but apart from that, it follows Bitcoin exactly. You know, if Bitcoin's going up, Ethereum's going up. If Bitcoin's going down, Ethereum's going down, with very few exceptions. So there, you know, there's still, it hasn't changed. There is still no point in analyzing altcoins, analyzing Ethereum, Litecoin, Ripple, bcash, any other shitcoin, until we have some good confirmation from Bitcoin. You know, I've gone ahead and overlaid that chart for you. I can overlay any other chart you want me to. The story is going to be the same, and it's that every coin is going to follow, you know, unless you've got a specific coin that isn't pegged to crypto. For example, Dignity, it's pegged to gold, and you know, even Tether. These are two of the only examples. I mean, there are a few, maybe a handful more, maybe 100 max, but apart from that, Bitcoin is the only one that that the market is gonna follow. Yeah, good point there. Many investigations going on now. Big money is nervous. You see, things like this kind of bearish, kind of FUD news is going to happen at levels like this, and it's going to intensify on the way down. You know, we're not going to go down to $3,000 for no reason. There is going to be a lot of FUD. Tether, if it happens, you know, Tether's, you know, the owners are going to end up getting arrested or something, whatever, I don't know, they're going to be raided, exchanges are going to get hacked and different things like that, whether it's staged or not, I don't know, but we're going to get FUD on the way down. I mean, the price isn't going to naturally go down with no news in between, and so we are going to see more intense FUD, more intense FOMO even news as we go up. So this is to be expected, I think, and it's a good point. I mean, I think there's an argument to be made that when we get more regulations in this space, you'll be able to see bigger money getting in. I personally don't think it's going to pump our bags, because why would big money, why would smart money try to pump our bags? They want to make their own money. They don't want to help us. It's a very common pitfall I see many people falling into, thinking that they are the most important ones, and somehow institutional investors will come on to save them. No, that's not the case. Institutional investors represent an opportunity for growth, but what kind of growth we see is something we will only be able to tell in hindsight. So two theories I speculated on is, you know, it could result in a massive parabolic run, but I don't think big players want that, because it's too volatile, it's not controlled. And even though that's what Bitcoin has been since its inception, I still think that if we do get big players getting in, they want to be able to control it, make it manageable. You know, we switch to these 5-minute charts. They want patterns like this. I mean, it looks like a penny stock, a shitcoin, you know, with all of this bot action going on. They want this because it's more controlled, it's more predictable, and even though it might mean, you know, they miss out on a 5, 10, 20x when Bitcoin goes parabolic, you know, they've also got a risk to reward ratio to balance out, and this is what fits in with that ratio for them. See if we've got any more questions, guys. Make sure you smash those likes again. 500 viewers, absolutely amazing. Quick shout out again, thank you to everyone who has subscribed. I think we're at 20,000 and maybe 200 now. Let's check it out. Yep, just above 20,200. Amazing. Growth has been amazing. What does Ichimoku Cloud say? Steve, good question. Let's go over to the Ichi Cloud. So on the 4 hour, we've left it, and we are forming a very nice support. So this is going to play in very nicely if we do end up forming a inverse head and shoulders. So if I plot this again, I mean, this looks amazing in terms of a bullish stance, really. Let's get this to line up. I mean, potentially see something like this. It's not perfect, but I think we could very easily see a drop into this Ichi Cloud within, you know, within this sort of bullish sentiment, I guess, to finish off this inverse head and shoulders. We've tested a low 3 times. If this happens, the Ichi Cloud would give us support and mean that we rally higher. Now, I'm not too sure how accurate of an indicator it's going to be in terms of support, alright, because this does mean a reversal, and it's happened in the past. So we look at clouds like this, and we have had green clouds in the past, and it hasn't resulted in anything. So I'm looking at indicators like the Ichi Cloud, like the EMAs, for trading the continuation patterns. And at the moment, because we're not, you know, the trend, that's the only trend we know that's definite at the moment is a downtrend. We don't know for sure that we're in an uptrend yet. And so I wouldn't be willing to trade this reversal pattern. So if we do hit this Ichi Cloud and I do begin to bounce, I'm still going to sit it out, because it's not trading a continuation pattern, it would be trading a reversal, in this case meaning that we've reversed from bearish to being bullish. So it's an opportunity to find support, it's an opportunity to bounce up, to form and finish our inverse head and shoulders and then break above. But as it stands, I'm not giving it too much credit. Let's go ahead and check out what we've got on the daily though. I think, yeah, we are seeing some narrowing of our resistance cloud. So, you know, like we had back here, a potential opportunity to break above. It looks gloomy. I mean, this cloud is lowering with us. And It looks like we are going to see this this closing up and tightening, you know, as we trade within the Ichi cloud. If we even get that high, it will mean that we start to form a green cloud, a support cloud, and that would be the first time we've seen a green cloud on the daily since back in March. You know, it existing for the bulk of February and January only. So, you know, we got very close back here, but it's gonna mean that we need to show a lot more strength in this area to start closing up this resistance cloud and start forming a support cloud. It's forming a peak right now? I don't think so. I don't know what you're talking about. Maybe something else. My sentiment is bearish now. All TA fails on Bitcoin because patterns are completely unnatural. Completely agree. Completely unpredictable. High bot manipulation. Very low human volume. Ryan Ford, you've hit it on the nail with every single statement you've made there. In my opinion, I guess. It's just not a good trading environment. You know, I mean, the risk to reward is completely, you know, we haven't made any, you know, what I trade, guys, are these sort of bigger swings. Take this off, and we haven't had a bigger swing, you know, comparable to 68 down to about 58, which we did play as a short. We haven't had a swing like that for so long, and those are the swings I play. I don't play these short-term swings, and so I have gone out of my comfort zone by putting in a short hair because I'm going to be taking profits very quickly. So this is a very short-term swing. This is almost fighting the bots, and so it's not a favorable trading environment. You know, we need to see some bigger swings. We need to see some true action. We need to see kind of what stance the market is taking. If we go above 68, we're very bullish relative to where we were before. But if we drop below, I mean, that's confirmed to us that we're bearish. And until we get that confirmation, we're not going to see human traders in this market. I think once the holidays are done with us tomorrow, we should see gains. And you know what? I'm not sure how much holidays affect this kind of thing. I mean, there was also the July the 4th argument, which was when back here. Yeah, man, I don't think holidays. Maybe at a stretch Christmas, but I don't think holidays really contribute to the market that much. Weekends are considered a holiday, I guess, and they can be a bit dodgy. But on the whole, you know, day of the week, holiday, significant day, I don't think any of it really matters to the market unless there's news. So, you know, July the 4th, if they suddenly release news to celebrate our independence, we are now making Bitcoin legal tether in the US, that kind of a thing, you know. And that would be a significant day. That would be a holiday, you know, including bullish news. But apart from that, I'm not sure if holidays make a big difference. Expect 10,000 by the end of July and 22,000 by September. Franz, I want to know where you pulled those numbers from. Bitcoin will freeze before it goes over 20,000. Bcash will get there first. That's hilarious. Alright guys, I think I'm going to start wrapping it up here. I have covered everything I wanted to. We're getting some questions about altcoins now. I am purposely ignoring them. I'm not sure if you caught the hint there, Jordan. You know, I've went over it. You might have missed it where I ranted about alts a little bit earlier, but I'm not looking at alts. None of them are viable until Bitcoin is. I really should start, because I know a lot of you guys get the point, but I don't like repeating it. You know, for those of you who do get the point and you're just tired of hearing it. Where do I say Bitcoin by end of year? No idea, man. No idea. You know, I think a lot of it depends on what happens with the $6,000 range. I'm honestly surprised that we've stayed in this range for going on like 29 days now, I think it is. Let's check it out. So, yeah, 28 days. I'm genuinely surprised we've stayed in this range for so long. You know, within, say, 5,500 to 6,000. Sorry, 7,000. When we first dropped into this range, I thought we would leave it by the end of the week, and many others did as well. So it was quite surprising to see us staying here for so long. But I do think we are ready to leave. maybe give it a week or two max. But you know, we're not going to stay in this level forever. You know, if you speculate when we're going to end 2018, we're either going to end 2018 at like 10,000 and above, or like maybe 4,000 or 5,000 and below. We're definitely not going to be in the 6,000 range, I think. That would be terrible. Imagine us going sideways for the next 5 months. That would be torture. Thank you very much, Adam Choi. I like your TA style. Bull run moves because of tether. That's a funny stance. Alright guys, I am going to be signing off here. I hope you have found this useful. I mean, just a quick look at the markets again. Streams will be back to normal. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep up these daily streams. If we keep on getting movement like this, there is literally no point in streaming. I'm just going to be repeating everything I say all the time. But, you know, as we do get more interesting market developments like we did today, like we did yesterday rather, I am happy to jump on stream and clarify my stance and my next game plan. So guys, if you're not already in the Telegram group, definitely do join. The link is in the description. I've put out a play for our VIPs today. We also did a VIP stream explaining how to put in that trade. I think that was pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and look through those questions and look through that feedback now, right after this stream. So if you guys are interested in VIP, join the Telegram group. I leave my name at the bottom of all of those posts, and you can contact me to get information on the VIP channel. But guys, with that, I really hope you have enjoyed it. I hope you've learned something, hope you've gained something from this, all of that good stuff. Make sure to smash those likes real quick. Join the notification squad if you're not already in there. But with that, I'm signing off. Peace.